Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the Moviegoers Live Show. It has been a month since I have done an episode of this, and it feels good to be back. I have been wanting to do another episode of this, but due to scheduling conflicts, I have not been able to get some people on for the show. But you know what? After a month, it's finally time to bring it back. And tonight's guest, is this really going to be any surprise, like, who's here tonight? You know this guy. He's pretty much been on every single one of my streams ever since the beginning. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Fritski. What's happening, my brother? Oh, your mic. Yeah, your mic's muted. Try that. There we go. Now his mic's back on.
There we go. Sorry. Totally just still adjusting the mic, but hello. Sorry about that.
You're just like adjustment.
I was like, just lip syncing, I guess.
Check your adjustments.
Yep, that's right.
But of course, you guys know he's been here before. Like we all know this. He's
Once, twice, maybe 3 times.
Nah, bruh. You've been here basically since the beginning, so it's always great to have you here, man. It's always a real pleasure having you here. And
thank you.
And honestly, I could not be more thankful for having Fritski as a friend. Honestly, I could not be more thankful. Like, because honestly, where would we be by this point if we haven't like really started this journey together? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, seriously, like. No, but thank you for having me on and including me in all the streams and whatnot. It's been a little over a year or so, right? Like,
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. All these live streams and all these watch-alongs and Q&As and everything in between. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep. Sorry, just quickly texted my mom really quick. She was asking me what time is my movie tomorrow, which is Oppenheimer. Going to the 1 p.m. showing. So
1 p.m.
Because I just saw Barbie last night, and that was really good. So if you guys get a chance to this weekend, go see it. It's very good.
Yeah, Goose and her. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say though, it's a little bit more deeper than you think it will be. Like in regards to like political, social commentary, but it's a political satire basically.
That doesn't really surprise me. Like, I feel like Barbie would be the kind of movie to sneak that in, for sure.
Well, and also you have Greta Gerwig behind the camera, and her husband Noah Baumbach writing the script.
Yeah, Goose and her buddy, they are watching it right now as we speak. Unfortunately, obviously.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, obviously, I couldn't join them because, well, prior engagements, of course, we had this planned first. They kind of planned that very last minute. So it's like, had they given me a week's notice or maybe even a few more days, maybe. But if she really likes it, though, I'll definitely go see it a second time with her. And then I found a buddy to go to Oppenheimer with. Well, there's a couple people I guess. But
yep, I already booked my ticket for Oppenheimer, so I literally booked it like a couple of days ago, and I'll talk a little bit more about my little story with my theater experience with Barbie, because this might be a little bit interesting to talk about. But
really?
First of all, we're not here to talk about that story yet. We're just going to be here. I'm going to be talking about some stuff of like asking him some questions like about like, even though we might know him like pretty much from the start already, but in case if you guys are new here and you guys have never seen Fritski on my channel, this is the perfect place to be. So and of course go subscribe to his channel, obviously, because I mean, why not? I mean, he's a great guy. So
thank you.
Yep. And of course, while you're at it, subscribe to my channel as well, because we're nearing in at 500, you guys. We're almost there. About like 43, I think, subscribers away. You guys are awesome. Thank you. You guys are awesome. And smash that thumbs up for Fritski and I. Big like, little like, depends on your thumb size. Just do it.
We're not the person who measures your ring size at the rings shop, so don't ask us to.
You mean your thumb your thumb size? Like this is the big like or the little like, depending on the thumb size. In the words of Pugapillar. So also go check out Pugapillar. See, in the comments, we already got Jared, of course, a big MVP of the channel, and also consistent as well. So you might see him on the show at some point. Not a promise, but I mean, I'm not guaranteeing anything yet. You might see him on the show soon.
And also very recently announced third co-host.
Yep, of the watch-alongs now. So we have 3 co-hosts. You, Movies and Trains, and Jared. So congratulations, Jared. I mean, he's pretty much been consistent ever since like Willy's Wonderland. So, and same thing with Jared. It's always been awesome. It's been awesome to have him on for pretty much a lot of the streams because again with him, honestly, it's been a great journey. Like, so let's see. Lance is in the building. What is up, Lance? Says, hey, look, and hey everyone, I'm just watching. Oh God, Maleficent. Hope you're enjoying your time there, Lance. I don't like that movie. Later, going to play Pac-Man World 2. Love that game. I went and got my haircut, had pizza for lunch, and took a nap today. Very good.
That's a really packed day. Oh my gosh.
I really
That's
did
a heck of a day.
I mean, I did play a little bit more of Mario and Sonic, but
oh, nice.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Pac-Man World 2. I do not know that game off the top of my head. Is that one of the 3D ones, maybe?
I think he's might be talking about the second world of the game, I think. Okay. I don't know exactly. Specify, please. Craig is in the building. What is up, Craig?
Hey. Jump. Be like, what from Toy Story? Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Yep. I'm guessing a fan of Slipknot. He's an avid fan of Slipknot, like the biggest fan that you can possibly imagine.
Just a little bit. The hat too.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. We know you are.
Slipknot galore in this single shot. There's a mask there, the flag there, hat here. It's kind of all over.
Yeah, like you're an avid fan, bro. I know that.
Although, maybe we can talk about it a little more later. But I mean, they are my favorite band. Absolutely, they have been pissing me off a little bit lately. They've been making some questionable decisions, but you know, we're not going to get into that too much. But let's
honestly not talk about it because I don't want to depress myself.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
But yes, I am a fan. That is for certain.
Jared says, I will see Oppenheimer tomorrow, also in the afternoon. Nice. Can't wait to see it. Subscribe to both of your channels and got that notification bell because I don't want to miss anything. You are awesome, Lance.
Hey, that's really nice of you. Thank you so much for doing that.
That's a good man. Another MVP, Mr. View with Drew. What is up, man? Always a consistent.
Thanks for stopping by, Drew. Yeah, he's one of the most consistent people I know.
Drew,
hey, thank you very much.
The man.
Thank you.
Yes, like I said, you guys, go subscribe to Fritski, please. Get him to 300. I mean, hell, get him to 500. Like, come on now.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Oh, did another jump. I seen Slipknot February 10th, 2000. Thought I was going to die.
I'm curious what you mean by going to die. Do you mean going to die because? Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, going to die as in you didn't like the music, or you were getting thrown around in the mosh pit. I'm curious. Elaborate on going to die. I'm definitely curious to hear what you got to say. But 2000, that's actually interesting because that was before Iowa came out. So you saw them still in the self-titled days, and Lord knows they were very unhinged in their self-titled days. That's for sure. I would have, if I can go back and see Slipknot at any point in history. I definitely have a couple I would pick, but I'd have to say I would love to have seen them like in their self-titled days, like even at like a bar show. That'd be awesome.
I would have gone to the concert in London back in 2002.
Oh yes,
I would have
on
gone to
that.
that concert because I already know like that was a banger. Because like, especially with songs like "People Equal Shit" and "Disaster Piece," like those
That's one of
songs
their
played
most
live in London.
infamous live shows like ever. That's for certain.
Yeah, called "Disaster Pieces." I think is that what it was? It had to be.
Yeah,
Because I remember,
song.
I remember on my on one of my old Instagram accounts, I had that as my profile pic. Because I was like back when I was like really, really into Slipknot.
I think I introduced. I could be wrong, but I think I introduced Ewan from Ewan Reviews to the London 2002 show, and specifically the surfacing track, and he was like, holy shit, the like anger in the voice. This song is called Surfacing. It was like, oh my gosh.
That was even in the Rio Download Fest in 2009, I think.
Well, he says that before a lot of surfacing shows, but I'm specifically talking about the 2002 one. It's at the end of the Iowa album.
There you go. Well, I've done is mowing grass and went to Walmart and picked up a few titles. We saw that, my friend. You bought the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. Sisu, by the way, good man. And to build up for next week, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
By the way, speaking of Sisu, I wanted to say I'm going to see that pretty soon with my dad. I'm excited to watch that one for sure.
Are you gonna watch Sisu?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make it happen.
Dude, you're the man.
I'm excited. It looks really good.
I think you're really gonna enjoy it. It's gory. I'll just tell you that. It is gory.
By the way, you forgot about today's sponsor, Home Depot.
This video is sponsored by this live stream is brought to you by Home Depot and Bubbler. Hey, Home Depot, Bubbler, sponsor us.
That'd be nice.
Product placement already. Oh, did a jump. Yet again. It's a 3D platform game, and you play it. Every level is Pac-Man. Also, there's boss fights and mazes. Oh,
okay,
gotcha.
It is a 3D game. Okay, I figured because I know there were a lot of 3D Pac-Man games as well, but I don't know too many. Love the music. I was just getting hammered in the pit. Okay, gotcha. Oh my gosh, I would kill to be in that position, especially back in 2000. Oh, thank you, Lance.
Lance, you're awesome. And seen them in 2005 at the Big Day Out Festival. Nice.
Big Day Out Festival.
The 2000 gig was sick, and they ended with full version of Scissors.
They played the whole version of Scissors. What an interesting closer. That probably was trippy. Mm-hmm. That's a long song too, so it's like
about 7 minutes, I think, isn't it?
Something like that.
Roughly. What the hell?
I mean, that's every gamer YouTuber ever, I swear, is sponsored by Shadow Legends.
Not all gamer YouTubers are. I mean, the Flick Pig even got sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends at one point.
Yeah, more people than just the gamers.
I know, but now that we've caught up with the chat, let's get into the questions. And I've just thought about these questions here. I didn't write any of them down like I usually would. But first, of course, so if you guys, Fritski, we kind of all know this. Like everybody that's been with us knows that that David Lynch is your all-time favorite filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the thing that really got you into watching David Lynch stuff, or what was like something that you thought of making your short film that was kind of like David Lynch-esque? Because I can tell by your short film that you were heavily inspired from David Lynch.
So, my story with how I got into him was basically I the first ever one I watched was Mulholland Drive. And I'm not gonna lie, that movie now sits in my top 5 films of all time, but at least in the beginning, that was not the case. I actually did not like the movie when I first watched it. I, I don't know. I thought it was so weird, and I don't know why. I kind of, for some reason, I heard some people like, because Lynch is like, he's a horror filmmaker, but not like, weirdly, for anyone who hasn't seen his movies, like, you definitely can see like why he could be called like adjacent to horror, but I wouldn't really call him an outright horror filmmaker, like in the traditional sense of like a Wes Craven or a George A. Romero or something like that. But anyway, so I started with Mulholland Drive, and when it wasn't exactly the horror movie I thought it was, if I'm being honest, that's what I kind of went into it thinking it was. And also, it was just the way it told its story, which I'm not going to get into because spoilers, but the way it presented itself, it was just unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I was mature enough. I don't think I was quite ready. But sometime later on down the road, I watched Eraserhead, which, as everyone knows, is his first film. And I mean, and again, I think most of David Lynch's movies have had this effect on me where I like them a lot more later. I saw Eraserhead, and while my love for it came later, I definitely did like it initially more than I did Mulholland Drive. Um, and with that being said, I was like, that was the movie where I was like, huh, there might actually be something to this guy. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. Then the next thing I moved on to was, then I watched Blue Velvet. And Blue Velvet was, even though I didn't 100%, I still, even, this is my third David Lynch movie at that point, I still didn't 100% understand, really. But that was the first one I would say I pretty much loved upon first viewing. And I wrote a paper about it. When I was in one of the film classes I was in, I wrote a paper about it and everything. And then after that, my mom and I, we started Twin Peaks. I told my mom, I said, there's this show, because I guess I should back up by saying, um, the way I found out who David Lynch was because of Fire Walk with Me. And this is before I even knew that it was related to Twin Peaks as a show. And so after looking online, I found out that Fire Walk with Me was a prequel. And I looked and I looked, and I was like, it seemed to be the general consensus that even though it's a prequel, you do have to watch the show first, because the movie kind of, I don't know, obviously not only spoils the mystery of the show, but it also it's just, for context, it's better viewed after the show. And I'm glad I listened, because we sat through the show, even though at first, I'll admit, I wanted to watch it just to watch the movie. But I'm really glad I did, because now it's my favorite show of all time. And honestly, if I can combine, and I should also say Fire Walk with Me is my second favorite film, On the Right Day tied for my favorite. And if I can, as a whole, collectively call the original show, the movie, and The Return all one collective thing, I would say Twin Peaks is my favorite piece of fictional media ever. It is my favorite thing to exist when it comes to fictional media. And that is really where the love really started. Mulholland Drive was my entryway, but I was so on the fence about it at first. Eraserhead made me raise my eyebrows. Blue Velvet was the first thing I really enjoyed. And then Twin Peaks was where I was like, okay, I fucking love this style. Like, this is absolutely for me. So, and the rest is history. Now he's my favorite filmmaker of all time.
There you go. See, like, that's an interesting story to say the least. Because I mean, I kind of thought that Mulholland Drive was like the film that you like love the first on your first viewing, but I kind of, again, just it takes time for some things, you know, like for things to
Yeah,
grow on you, even
absolutely.
if you
And I
don't
mean,
like it the first time. But it depends.
it growing on you, and I also think you also have to be, I think you also need to be the right age. I think you need to be like in the right place in your life, even sometimes. And like I'm glad. It's funny because I think Mulholland Drive. Now that I look back on it, it is David Lynch's most acclaimed film, but I do not think it's the one you should start on. Absolutely not. Like, I think you need to be a little more used to how he operates. I would say his best entryway film would easily probably, like, if you want to go for the safest bet, I would say Blue Velvet. But I if you're willing to, like, I don't know, do a little bit of a cannonball, I would say maybe Eraserhead or The Elephant Man, just because I think those other ones get a little more like him more, I guess, because Blue Velvet is a pretty, well, not that Blue Velvet isn't, but Blue Velvet is a pretty easy to follow narrative. I don't think it's really that confusing or anything like that. Not like how he can get, that is. And you know, it's like for people who are used to a structured narrative, uh that one does follow those tropes, but it has enough of David Lynch's I don't know, elements to it, like his surrealism, his nightmarish imagery, and just even just his atmosphere that he creates. Um, I think there's enough of that. That's kind of like the dip your toes into his filmography movie, I would say. Um, but Mulholland Drive, I think, like I said, it's not a casual moviegoer's film, if you ask me. Like, I think you need to, first of all, if you're not into movies, I don't know how you would even like it, to be honest. Like, I'm sure there's people out there where that's the case, but if you're not into movies at all, I've yet to meet one who did like the film. But that being said, I think David Lynch's style also isn't for everybody. So I think it's something you need to be a little more acquired to. It's an acquired taste for sure.
I mean, certain directors do have acquired tastes, like for your films. Like, big example of that would be Ty West. Like, when it comes to Ty West, like his films are pretty much an acquired taste. Even if you look at a film like House of the Devil, like something like that, or last year's X and Pearl, like they're definitely acquired tastes. They're not for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, what's
Whereas you
another
have,
director, or Don Coscarelli? Like Don
yeah,
Coscarelli's films are definitely not for everybody, especially if you look at Phantasm. Not for everybody, dude. Like, no.
no.
Joe Bigos. His style is not for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
so.
That being said, and you know what? I think something that people need to understand more is that if they don't like someone who, is so stylistically like an acquired taste, they have to know that's okay too. Like, don't get I can't let myself get mad at someone if they're not 100% behind David Lynch's style, because he really is so out there. Like, he really is one of those people. He's extreme. He makes extremely obscure films, and that's totally okay if you're not 100% behind it. You know what I mean? And I feel like some people, they're like, oh, well, if I don't like David Lynch, I'm not really a cinephile. And it's like, that's not
That's not
true
true,
necessarily at
honestly.
all.
It's like there's certain films that I mean it's not really David Lynch that you would say like, oh, I don't like David Lynch films, so I'm not a cinephile. There's different films, honestly, to think that if you have that you don't like it, or if you haven't seen it, that you're not really a cinephile. Like that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
a good example is films like Forrest Gump. Like, that's a good one. Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption. You've at least had to have seen those movies. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
or 12 Angry Men. You like, or even if you've never seen a black and white film in your life, watch 12 Angry Men.
That movie's so good. That movie's so good. And I need to see more Sidney Lumet films too. Like you Fail Safe, you said I need to watch for sure.
You definitely need to
see
watch
Serpico. Yeah, there's
Serpico,
still
yeah,
a good
that's an interesting one. Yep.
Yeah.
For anyone that's still looking for a Criterion that doesn't have it, it's on sale. So go get it.
Next week, I'm actually gonna. Here's a little story. So I'm a little pissed off because at Barnes and Noble, there's, and I understand why this happened, but so I got 3 Criterions. One of them was a replacement for one that I already had, but like over time, like for some reason the case got a little chipped, so I bought a replacement, and luckily that one was fine. But I got 2 new titles for my collection, and sadly they came damaged. Now, I brought them in, uh, and I was like to Barnes and Noble, and I said, these came damaged. Is there any way I can get some store credit or a refund or whatever? And the lady says, well, unfortunately, sadly, it's not our policy, but there is a copyright policy as to if you take them back not in the plastic, we can't reaccept them. And I'm like, what? One of them was kind of bullcrap because one of those I would not have known it was damaged if I didn't open up the disc. Like when I opened it up, it had just just being shipped or whatever. Like it fell out of the socket or whatever it's called, and
Oh,
the disc
the
did.
button to hold it.
Yeah, whatever that thing is called. And so yeah, it fell out and the disc got scratched, and I was like, oh, this is freaking stupid. And so that one, had I not opened it, I wouldn't have known it was damaged. So I was like, that isn't fair. Now, the other one, okay, fine. I did take it out of the package and it was like more outer damage. Like basically what would happen is like the case wouldn't close on the top. And I can't accept that because the idea of a case is to protect the disc. So it's like if you have a case that's not going to close, you're going to get dust and other crap in there. So it's like, I was like, okay, like this is unacceptable. Now, that one, like I said, fine. Like Barnes and Noble wins on that one. But the other one where the disc fell out, that's just not fair. Like I wouldn't have known that it was damaged if I never looked. So I'm kind of pissed because I couldn't get like refunds for either of them. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna rebuy them. And my little trick with when it comes to ordering hauls online is that I think the more movies you buy, the better, and the less chance you have at them getting damaged. Because if you buy like a singular movie on Amazon, they're just gonna ship it in like the one singular slip or whatever. And like with this case with Barnes and Noble, they did like the
Those like slim packages.
cardboard one. And I only had 3 movies. So yeah, but the one time when I bought like 10 from the Criterion sale last year, yeah, I had pretty much no problem like with any of those films. And they got shipped in a regular box. So I think I need to buy more. So I have like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 I want to get, and that should probably do the trick.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah. Rough with shipping sometimes. I mean, that's why I don't always trust ordering online. Because that's kind of also a reason why I don't really trust ordering stuff off of eBay. Because a lot of the time, from what I heard, a lot of the times the stuff that you buy will come damaged.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't trust eBay.
Yeah.
I've had the Twin Peaks on the shelf for years and never watched it.
It's not the best.
Yeah, maybe soon I might get that box set if I can, so I can actually watch Twin Peaks. But not a priority at the moment. I'm just saying someday down the line, just not now.
The box down the set,
line. Like,
I
I'm just
will
saying if
say
I
the
find it
box
for a
set
good
is
deal.
good because you- yeah, like you have seasons 1, 2, and The Return, and obviously you need to watch the movie before The Return if you ask me. But I mean, I think the movie is on it's streaming on a couple things. I think it's on Max, and I think it's also on the Criterion channel. Not
Yeah, I
hard to
don't
get
have
your
the
hands on.
Criterion channel, so I should be able to watch it on Max.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Spicy 4K Action, what's up? And you are a good man for subbing to this man right here.
Well, thank you very much. We're getting all kinds of support this stream. This is awesome.
Stop hating, Craig. Halloween Ends ain't that bad.
The only refund.
Like, it really is not that bad. It sounds like he really just, like, despises that movie. It really ain't that bad. I mean, I know you don't like it, but I mean, just let's be real, man. It's not, like, that bad. Like let's be real.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's far from it, but I definitely, like I said, I don't like the film, but I do understand why people were like offended by the film. That was not it for me. The one where I'm just like, this is for me, Resurrection is still the worst one. You know what I mean? That
movie just offends you. That movie will just offend you on every single level. That
is one of the
just offends you like as a film, but it offends you as a Halloween fan. It's offensive.
You have to admit though, it's so silly. It's funny. The line Jamie Lee Curtis where she's like, "You just gotta show your tits and whatever that crap is."
No, that's from the Ends. I was thinking of I was talking about Resurrection.
Oh no, I was talking about Ends for a second there.
I know you were talking about Ends. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to talk about Resurrection.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the line. I thought you were going to talk about the iconic line from that movie. Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah, see, that one is fucking funny as hell.
Yep. So you can get the custom Blu-ray from the 2018 Kills Ends as long as one film they cut Corey out of it.
Oh,
as
really?
one long film and they cut Corey out of it.
How would Kills even, or not Kills, how would Ends even work without Corey? That's interesting.
That's why they made it, so that way they could introduce Corey Cunningham. And his storyline, honestly, I did not mind. Like, he had a pretty, like, we honestly did understand, like, why he wanted to kill people.
I will say this. He is I'm not a fan of him being the main character of the last Halloween movie, but you know what? I will say that he's more interesting to follow than Michael, because I'm sorry, Michael in that movie, I'm just not the biggest fan of. I don't understand why he's getting like,
he was so weak.
Yeah, I don't know why he's getting thrown around. And it's like, don't even give me the, oh, it's because he's old excuse. Like, no, he was old in the last two. Like
he just takes a hit and is like, "Ugh." Like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, Corey is more interesting to follow than Michael in Halloween Ends, and that's for sure. I mean, and I do like the scene where it's at that house with all the glass doors and Corey has his scarecrow mask. I actually really do like that scene.
That was actually a pretty clever kill, though. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty clever. Like, it was interesting.
It almost reminded.
Oh, what?
I said. It almost reminded me for some reason just being outside and I don't know, body mutilated and whatever. It reminded me of the opening of Scream almost for some reason.
That's a good comparison. I like that. So
Myers and Ends is like me after the gym. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, don't get me. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So next question. So, anyways, so me and you, like, when it comes to us being film buffs, like we love to recommend movies to people. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody were to ask you for movie recommendations, what are 5 films you would pick?
Oh, random movie recommendations. Can I use Letterbox to take a quick peek?
That's fine. I mean, if you can't think of them off the top of your head, you can go ahead and use the cheat.
All right, let's do that. Because I can easily give like my favorites, but I almost feel like it's not the safest bet to go sometimes.
Can't always pick the favorites, man.
Let's see. Yeah, but see, like, I mean, I would show them the favorites after I show them like something else though. Like, but okay, so 5 films I would recommend. So what was the context? You said that these like if someone was like new to cinema or just kind of in general.
Or just in general, like if people were like saying like, "Hey, man, what's a film like? I'm looking for something to watch. Can you recommend me something? Something like that, you know?"
Okay. Five five film recommendations. Um okay. I would say I would begin by probably with The Crow because I think people forget that The Crow is a technically a comic book film. Um and like it's actually for everyone who, doesn't know, it's actually my favorite comic book film of all time. Um and I think it's like in the subgenre, I guess, I think it's severely like overlooked when it comes to that regard. Like it's not like an unheard of movie, but I don't think other people like put it to the same heights as like something from Marvel or DC. So it's like I would absolutely say The Crow, and not even just because it's my favorite comic book film, just because it's a freaking great action movie all around. Like it's a
Brutal as hell.
fantastic like
It's brutal. Like,
yeah. Um Next, I would say, yeah, it can get brutal for sure in that film. Um, Number 2, I would probably tell them to watch. Here's a film that I think is a really good one for people who, are for anyone who hasn't seen and obviously these are hoping they haven't seen these obviously, but the next one I'm going to say, just because I actually did recommend it to someone, you even saw I recommended it to John. I'm going to go with Don Hertzfeldt's It's Such a Beautiful Day. It's Such a Beautiful Day is one of my absolute favorite animated films. um it's it's actually like the movie has just so much to say just about life and death and what it means to exist, and where we go after, and I don't know, it's crazy. Like you have to watch it to even understand what I'm talking about, but somehow some way it conveys these incredibly strong messages, but through stick figures. Like the film is 80% uh carried by stick figures, and yet it is one of the most powerful films I've ever seen. So I if you guys want like a random but strong recommendation, It's Such a Beautiful Day. It's a really heavy film, so be warned. It can get incredibly sad at times, but that's also because the truth kind of hurts sometimes too, doesn't it?
oh yeah.
So that being said, um number 3, number 3, I'm going to say, hmm, for my number 3 pick, I'm going to recommend a film that I think is one of it's a film by a very well-known director, but I'm going to say it's one of his most underrated titles because I don't know, it just is. Again, it's not like a totally unheard of movie, but it's not spoken of nearly as the heights of some of his greater hits, I guess. And I'm talking about Silence by Martin Scorsese. Amazing
Oh,
freaking
that's a good one. That is
film.
a good one right
Yeah,
there. I like that a lot.
amazing, amazing film. Um, I mean, the fact that it's direct, even if I didn't tell you what it was about, like even if I just told you it's directed by Martin Scorsese, it stars Andrew Garfield, Liam Neeson, and Adam Driver. That alone should hopefully interest you because, like, how could a film like, starring those three and directed by good old Marty, how could it possibly be bad, right? But
Right.
Silence is, as a Christian myself, I have to say that for some, like, faith and movies, the two have put together, they've never really worked for me. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Christian movies. I know that's probably going to
You
sound blasphemous to some. Huh?
want to know why?
Why?
They get too preachy with their message.
They can, for sure.
That's why I
That's
don't
more.
watch that many faith-based movies because they're too preachy.
They can be for sure.
Well, unless you talk
Um,
about Jesus Revolution, it doesn't get too overly preachy.
that's a newer one that definitely was like pretty well done when it came to to that subject
Like
matter. But
spreading the message. Like it
yeah,
wasn't like it's not like God's not dead. Like the entire franchise being overly preachy. Like
yeah.
because
But that
because you don't want to torture your audience when it comes to spreading the messages about God and faith or something like that. That gets miserable to you.
but
Like that just becomes miserable.
yeah, but that being said, when it comes to Silence, um, you know, I have to say it's got to be, in my opinion, whether you are religious or not or whatever, I think the film is incredibly, incredibly powerful. Um, and it just as a stand, even if you don't view it as a faith-based movie, even if you just view it like, you know, as I don't know, as even just as a period piece at that. It it's an incredibly powerful film. And I have to say, it's definitely like the best religious affiliated film I've personally ever seen. I think, like, as far as that I've seen go, nothing has even come close to like just working on every level. And I mean, it shouldn't be a question as to why. I mean, it's directed by one of the best directors of all time, has some of the best actors in there, but it's amazing. It's for anyone who has not seen and you're a fan of Martin Scorsese and you haven't seen Silence yet, please watch that film. It is one of the best like contemporary films, like when we're talking about like the last like 10 years or so. Like at least I think I should be correct on that. Yeah, I think it came out in 2016, so I should be good on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Um, but yeah, it's fantastic.
It
Please,
is a
please watch it if
legitimately
you have yet
it
to.
is a perfect movie. Like it is perfect. Like pretty much on every single level.
Yes,
Like
yes, it's a masterpiece for sure. One of his
I was about to
many
say it is a
masterpieces.
masterpiece. And usually I
Yes.
can't really go that far in saying that it's a masterpiece because I mean sometimes like when it comes to brand new films, it's way too early to say so that it's a masterpiece.
Mhm.
Or unless like the
Yeah, for
film
sure.
like
You gotta let it sink in a little bit
or
sometimes.
maybe if like the film like really like if it was like really impactful to you, say like the Batman or Everything Everywhere All at Once, then I'll give you that right to call it a masterpiece. Like, but just for something
Mhm.
else that you think
Yeah.
is just a perfect film, just wait to say it until like a year passes by. Like, like 'cause that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, or even because honestly, I don't like using that term all that much. Like, unless like depending on what I think of Oppenheimer. I mean, a lot of people are saying that movie's a masterpiece. Like,
It's like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna try to
hmm,
let that.
hmm.
Usually, I don't like to let the hype get to me. when it comes to certain movies.
Yeah.
When I walk into them, I just let the hype die out of my head because I'm just like, I can't let the hype get to me. I have to see how this film really is.
Yeah.
Like, because then, because like when it came to Barbie, like, dude, this was like the double feature that everybody was waiting for this year was Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah. No, and
And
you're right. It was.
and this is probably going to be like going to go down in history as one of the greatest double features of all time. Like, if not
Probably. I
the
mean,
greatest.
it's doing so well.
Like both of them are doing great. Like at the
yeah.
box office, like they're doing considerably better than. Like, for some reason, they're doing better than Indiana Jones is. Like,
I mean,
like
Indiana Jones has been around for a little while, but it's like, yeah, I mean, there was just so much freaking hype around these films. Like, it's actually crazy.
I think it's mostly because like after the Super Mario Brothers movie, people were just waiting for Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
If I really had to think about it, like people were just waiting for those films after the Super Mario Brothers movie. Because I mean, Guardians and Spider-Man didn't even didn't even get close to getting to $1 billion. Like Mario still is the
Yeah,
only
that's
film this
concerning.
year that has made over $1 billion. Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, I kind of figured the film was going to make $1 billion because it's Mario. Like, they're pretty much
Yeah.
everybody in the world has at least played one game of Mario.
Yeah.
Unless you're Grace
Yeah,
Randolph
for
and
sure.
say it's the worst thing ever. Jesus Christ. Because seriously, she
Right.
never played a single game of Mario. Here's my thing.
Oh my god.
You've at least had to play one game of Mario in order to watch the movie. Because you've never played a single game.
I think you should.
I would say decline. Like I would say play one of the games first, then watch the movie. Like,
Yeah.
so that we actually get an idea of what the movie's gonna be. Okay, sorry, I wanted to go off on that tangent really quick.
No, you're good. I mean, we're here to talk about
Like
movies, right? So it's like
I know, but I
you know.
had to go off on that quick tangent because I feel like if people just really despise on the Super Mario Brothers, we pull the stick out of your ass. That's all I gotta say. Looking at one of those guys on Letterboxd that had that as his worst film of the year, now puts the Flash at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because, dude, come on, both Mario and the Flash are not bad. Like, honestly, I really was not huge on the Flash when I first saw it. I gave it like a 3, I think, a high 3.
Yeah.
But then sitting on it and thinking about it, I've come around to really liking the Flash.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I mean, Fritski, I know you're not really going to give a shit about the Flash, but at least if you can, when it comes to Max, at least give it a try. Like,
I might give it a shot. I very
because I mean,
well
it
may
is
give
directed
a
by
shot.
Andy Muschietti, so I mean, and he is a good filmmaker. Minus his minus his bullshit CGI.
Yeah.
Because have you seen this? Have you seen some of the CGI when it came to the Flash?
I saw bits and pieces. Yeah, it doesn't look the best. Like I saw there was one
CGI
still
is
frame of like
terrible.
his head was like severed off or some weird crap like that. Like,
Yeah, and even like there's like a lot of CGI babies in the beginning of the movie.
CGI babies.
Yeah, I'm not kidding you. CGI babies. So
That just sounds laughable.
you're gonna laugh your ass off by that point. I'm not
But
gonna
yeah,
lie. You are gonna laugh your ass off.
I'm
Yeah, but I'm just
sure I
wanting to
will.
say, man,
I'm
I
sure
just
I
want
will.
you to at least give it a try. Like, just give it a try.
I will certainly.
Like, I know you're not into. Like, I know you don't give a crap about comic book movies at this point now, but this is just what I just want you to do. I just want you to at least give this one a chance. Like, so
I'll certainly give it a shot.
yeah, but I mean
But anyway,
that's not going to be one of the
so
recommendations I'll be doing in just a few minutes when we're done here. So
okay, sounds good. Okay, so 2 more. So my next one I would give, I think this is another one that I think would be really good for people who are still, I'm gonna say newer to cinema where they're, you've seen like most of the hits, you've seen the Indiana Jones, you've seen the Star Wars, and you're ready to dive a little deeper, like you're kind of at that stage and you haven't seen this film yet. My next recommendation is a French film called La Haine.
La
And
Haine, there we go. I like that.
yes, and it's often thought of as / regarded as the French version of Do the Right Thing. And that's kind of what it is.
It is a hood film. So, I can't blame that. I mean, it is a hood film. So.
But yeah, so it's like La Haine is, I just think it's a really remarkable piece of cinema, to be honest. Like it's not only really powerful in the storytelling, the themes, what it's trying to say, the messaging, but it also, I mean, it has some amazing cinematography. Honestly, some really, really impressive cinematography. Just the black and white coloring, I think, was the best way to go. It has countless shots in that film that are honestly some of my favorite shots in any film ever, really. And also I think it's even just like on the surface level when it comes to the entertainment, I think it's also incredibly, like, it's constantly engaging. It has a great story and it gets incredibly intense and suspenseful at times, like crazy suspenseful. And it's a very influential film too. I mean, it even there's a scene for anyone who's seen Boogie Nights. There's a very infamous scene in Boogie Nights that was pretty much a straight up reference to a particular scene in La Haine. But yeah, great thriller movie. It gets you on the edge of your seat. And really impressive when it comes to like every level of filmmaking, really.
There you go.
So that's my number 4. And my number 5. Okay. For my number 5 pick, I guess this is the question I would ask this person. Are you more in the mood for something funny, or would you rather see an action film?
All right. So
what do you think? If you were that person, would you pick funny or action? What are you kind of more in the mood for?
Mostly action. But if you were to say horror, though, I'm a horror guy, so. But I'll go with action for now.
We could do, yeah, there could be that. But if it's between funny and action on this one, then I would next recommend honestly, this movie, I think, like, yeah, it's well regarded by fans who watch, or by people who watch movies. But I don't think this movie gets enough buzz from like the general audience the same way other films by this director gets with some of his other movies. Kind of similarly to how I said about Scorsese with Silence, I feel that way about this film, and that film is Collateral. Again, a highly well-regarded movie, but is it on the same like? But is it on the same like? I don't know. When it comes to the buzz, is it in the same ballpark as something like Heat? I don't think so, to be honest. I think Collateral is just like a freaking fantastic movie. I mean, it has one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances, one of my favorite Jamie Foxx performances. It's fucking insane. Like, I love that movie so much. And it's also, I would consider it an action movie, but it's kind of a much more smaller scaled action movie, which I think is kind of a twist on the action movie genre and something kind of different for Michael Mann, because we all know him to do these big scaled, ambitious action movies like with Thief or with Miami Vice or Heat. Like, we know him to go balls to the walls with, getting theatrical with the action, but Collateral, he kind of downscales it a little bit. And I think that's it's an interesting twist to see Michael Mann do, and it's kind of an interesting thing to see for an action movie in general, because I mean, we when you hear action movie, you're going to expect like big powwows like in John Wick 4, but not necessarily the right. Yeah. Or with Michael Bay, like fucking explosions and shit. But it's like
With explosions
not the
with
case with
fireworks, more
Collateral.
like it.
Yeah. But with Collateral, you know, I mean, I would still consider it an action movie, but it's a lot more
But
small
like you
scale
said,
than
it's
that.
small scale, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
and also a twist for Tom Cruise, like, 'cause that's one of the only times you'll ever see Tom Cruise playing a villain. Like,
Yes, and that's a huge thing I love about the movie. If you want to see him play, I mean, we always think of Tom Cruise as the hero, the hero, the hero, the hero,
this big
but
action star, like that always does all the crazy shit. Like,
or even with movies like Eyes Wide Shut or Vanilla Sky, where he's more of a protagonist than a hero. Well, still, he's not considered really a terrible guy in those movies. At least not like that's not the way you think of him in the movie, like from from a
right,
third eye
yeah.
view, I guess. But this one, he's straight up fucking menacing. He's crazy. He's evil, and he will like, the first chance he gets, he will like tackle you and like tear out the meat in your neck. Like he's crazy in this movie. The freaking oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure it was practical. Him jumping through that glass window in that office building. I was like, what? That was
Dude, Tom
crazy.
Cruise does all of his own stunts. I mean, you shouldn't even be surprised that he did that.
Exactly.
Like, because, dude,
No, I'm not.
a
I'm
lot
not
of the stunts,
surprised.
even when it comes to Mission Impossible, like, they're practical stunts. Like, because Tom Cruise will just do it all,
I
man.
think the plane one still like is.
What are you talking about with
Dude,
Rogue Nation?
the plane in what is it? Yeah, that was crazy. That was insane.
If you think that's
like,
crazy, you ain't seen
and
nothing
even,
yet with Mission with Dead Reckoning, dude. You have not seen anything yet.
I gotta see Dead Reckoning still. I still have to see
Dude,
Dead
that
Reckoning.
motorcycle stunt that he did, just going off that huge cliff, he had to do that stunt 6 times. I'm not kidding you. He had to do that 6 times. Like, to really get it right. Like, I actually read it, like, read some proof on this. And to prepare for that stunt, he had to do 500 skydives and 1,300 motorcycle jumps to prepare for it. Dude, he does a lot to prepare for his roles like that, dude. Like, you gotta really admire Tom Cruise for that. Like, you gotta give him, like, you gotta give him all the credit in the world for actually having that ability. Like, because he will put his body on the line.
Dude, he's one of the best. Like, he
I
really
would
is one
argue
of the best, dude. And it's just like not.
And honestly, I would argue he's the greatest action star of all time. I would argue that. Like,
I would say so. I would say
because honestly, with a lot of the stunts he does, dude, like even besides with what Keanu Reeves does with the John Wick movies, I mean, you could argue those two are the best action stars. Like, but honestly, if you were to ask me who's the best, it's Tom Cruise. Like,
yeah, because with Keanu Reeves, I mean, as I feel like my favorite action series is for sure John Wick, and Keanu is obviously the reason why that is, but like all around, like just with how like much of a variety Tom Cruise brings to the action genre with all his different roles, like pilot, spy, fucking what's his shit in Edge of Tomorrow, like in those suits and crap,
like robots, like those army robot suits.
Yeah, so it's like he brings so much versatility. You know what I mean?
Like he has like different variety of types of movies he likes to make. So
yeah,
like
sure.
that's something right there. And he does all of those crazy stunts for our experience, like for the cinema. Like he has like real authenticity to actually give you those.
Yeah.
So you really got to commend Tom Cruise for that, for actually having that ability.
Looks like we got quite a few people in the chat.
I know, I got to catch up, but then I'll go through my recommendations.
Right.
I'd go Zodiac, Clue, or any of the Harry Potters. I mean, I love your choice of Clue, by the way. Clue's awesome. The original Karate Kid and the Naked Gun. I think he's talking about the first Naked Gun. which that is one of the best parody
Rewatched.
films. That is one of my favorite parody movies. It's parody films are just a lost cause nowadays because they don't really add much to the genre.
Yeah.
No, it is not. Here's a big question aside from Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. What's your favorite movie performance where the supporting character stole the show?
Oh,
I would say what Drew said. Either John Goodman as Walter in The Big Lebowski or Haley Atwell in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Off the top of my head, I would say J.K. Simmons in Whiplash
Oh, that one. I forgot. Damn it.
Or my other one I'd say would be Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men.
Yes, what's the most ever lost in a coin toss? Oh, so creepy. Like seriously, so creepy.
A creepy ass scene. And it gets, dude, it's like the first time I watched that, I don't want to say it didn't mean anything to me, like, cause that just doesn't sound right. But it was really happening was like,
I got you right here. Speaking of Javier Bardem, he stole the show as the villain in Skyfall. As Raul Silva.
Yeah, he was really good in Skyfall. That's right.
I love him as Raul Silva in Skyfall. Like,
yeah,
one of the best Bond villains. Like, so good.
Maybe even Eric? My favorite, honestly.
Of the Bond movies?
What was I going to say? That scene, though. Yeah, I would say that Bardem is my favorite villain of the Bond movies, honestly. But what I was going to say about No Country for Old Men, though, was it's funny because, like I said, the first time I saw that, it just didn't register with me, I guess. Like, it did, like, the first time I watched that scene, I mean. But after you watch the whole movie and you really realize, like, I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but you realize what was at stake during that scene, it's like, oh.
Yeah, what's going on, Eric, by the way? Thank you for being here. But I also wanted to say, I know you're not big on this movie like I am, but Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson steal Bullet Train. Like, and they're supporting characters. Like, they're the supporting characters.
I will say they're my favorite.
Brad Pitt is our main character in the movie. So
I like Brad Pitt a lot in the movie, but I will say they kind of are show stealers, though, for sure.
They really are, honestly. Because I mean, you get that freaking joke of Brian Tyree Henry making a lot of those like Thomas the Tank Engine jokes. How is that not funny? Like, those are hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's see. To answer your question, Drew, first one that comes to mind is Famke Janssen as Xenia Onatopp in GoldenEye. Good man. She's fantastic in that movie. And plus, GoldenEye is just fucking awesome, man. Dude, seriously, that's the best Pierce Brosnan Bond movie. Like, is that even a question at this point? That's the best Pierce Brosnan Bond, is GoldenEye. Yeah, we did. Action. Look who's here, Tracy. What's going on, my friend?
Hi, Tracy.
Collateral is definitely one of the best Tom Cruise movies. I agree. Yo, homie, that my briefcase?
Yo, dude, that scene is insane. That scene is crazy.
Just rewatched Magnolia, and Cruise was epic in that. Magnolia is great.
I've said this before. I think it was the last Q&A. Magnolia is my favorite as far as his performance goes. Magnolia is my favorite performance that he's ever done, for sure.
Fantastic. Top 3 Tom Cruise films: Magnolia, Eyes Wide Shut, and Collateral. Awesome.
Eddie and I have literally the exact same top 3. That's it for me as well. Yep.
I would say, of course, obviously Top Gun Maverick is my number 1 pick. Is that even a question at this point for you guys?
No.
and that movie, I will say, is a masterpiece. I will say it. I will flat out say it is a masterpiece. Like, and thank you, Fritski. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, I love that film.
Yep, Top Gun Maverick. I would even say the original Top Gun.
It's a good pick.
And if I really had to pick, I think I would go with. I'm actually gonna do this with a 3-way tie.
Okay.
The Firm, Vanilla Sky, and Mission Impossible Fallout.
Nice.
Because,
Nice.
dude, and actually, no, I'll give it a 4-way. I gotta add Collateral.
Hell
You
yeah.
can't go without a Tom. You can't do a Tom Cruise list without Collateral.
It's too many to choose from, that's for sure.
So yeah, but I mean, if you guys haven't seen any of those films, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing?
Go have a Tom Cruise binge night.
There you go. Cruise the binge night.
Cruise the binge.
There you go. Jesus, Eric.
Holy
You had
shit.
your butt sore for 6 hours.
Dude, yeah, I was about to say 6 hours of your life already watching Oppenheimer. That's crazy.
I'm seeing it tomorrow. Like, seriously, I'm seeing it tomorrow and at 1:00 in the afternoon. Underrated Cruise performances in Rock of Ages. I agree.
Rock of Ages is a good ass movie. That's a
fun movie. And the cover of Paradise City that Tom Cruise does, awesome. Freaking awesome.
It's so funny too. That's a funny ass movie.
Yeah, I can understand what you guys mean with Tom Cruise. He's not one of my favorite actors. I admire his commitments, and love of the movies, but
it is what it is.
Tom Cruise, but I will take this to my dying grave that Tom Cruise is the man. Like, he is the man. No. I disagree. She stole the movie from me, Tracy. She stole the movie. And just the way that she could, like, and this is not really a spoiler or anything like that. The way that she continuously ditches, Tom Cruise in the movie at points is so funny. Like, seriously, it is very funny. Whoop, gotta go back up. What's up, Judd? Wow. So you, Tracy, and Eddie have the exact same top 3 of Tom Cruise movies.
Wow, really? That's kind of awesome.
Unite. Silva is my favorite Bond. I mean, he's not my favorite Bond villain. I should have thought about that. He's not my favorite. My favorite Bond villain is Le Chiffre in Casino Royale.
Casino Royale is honestly all around probably my favorite James Bond film, if I'm being honest.
It's pretty much everybody's favorite James Bond movie. I mean, it's my favorite personally. Like, it's a perfect 3-act structure. Like, you can't deny that. Perfect 3-act structure. You have the love story, you got the revenge story, and you got poker. You can't get any more perfect than that.
Yeah.
Like, I know. You can thank me for that. I literally pointed out Mission Impossible. Like, and plus, honestly, you can't really do a top 10 Tom Cruise movies list without mentioning any of the Mission Impossible movies. Because those are like his most like iconic films that you can really think of as Mission Impossible.
For sure.
Even when you look at Mission Impossible Fallout, like, seriously, Fallout, you can't get better than that. Honestly, you cannot get better than Fallout.
It was insane, dude, because that was, like I said in my review, that was the only one that I had not seen like prior to Dead Reckoning. So I watched that for the first time, and it was really freaking good, dude. It was awesome.
See, dude, I told you it was awesome. Like,
I really enjoyed it.
Dude, that freaking helicopter scene.
That was unbelievable.
And again, he did that all by himself. Like,
it's crazy.
Tom Cruise showed up at the theater. I saw the new Mission Impossible, but not when I was there. Oh, that's a bummer.
Oh, dude, your theater, but wrong showing. Oh my gosh.
Dude, if Tom Cruise showed up to my theater when I saw Mission Impossible, bro, I'd be like, dude, I'm actually meeting Tom Cruise? Like, this is crazy. Like, dude.
What a humble guy to do that. Like, he doesn't have to do that. You know what I mean? He can sit up in his chair all high and mighty, whatever, watch the numbers go up from afar on his phone, but he chooses to go and, like, thank people for supporting the movie. Like, that is genuine.
that's a commitment. Like,
and from a blockbuster film too. Like you're not going to see like, I don't know, any of the, I don't know, MCU stars or whatever do that shit. Like, no, it's
Karen
not going to
Gillan did
happen.
that actually.
Oh wait, really? I
Karen
guess I
Gillan
take my
actually
word back.
surprised fans at a screening for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
Karen Gillan actually did that.
In that case, newer. But then again, Carolyn is kind of the GOAT. So there is that.
Yeah, and you know the Jackass guys actually surprised their fans when it came to Jackass Forever. Like most of them did surprise their fans. Like
That's awesome.
Johnny Knoxville surprised fans at the theater. Steve-O went to a drive-in in Arizona and actually surprised some people that were going to watch the movie.
Dang.
And Preston Lacey, Dave England, Wee Man, Pontius. Yeah, they all surprised their fans.
That's awesome. That is great.
Like, that shows you how genuine the Jackass guys are. Like, they are really genuine guys.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think Johnny Knoxville is like the most genuine of all of them, besides obviously Steve-O.
Steve-O, oh man, he had his tour or whatever, and we looked into it about getting tickets, but it never happened. But oh my gosh,
and people have actually gotten, and some people after his stand-up have actually gotten pictures with Steve-O.
That's pretty rad. That is cool.
Like one of my friends from high school actually, like she actually went to Steve-O's stand-up and actually got a picture with Steve-O and Dave England.
Oh, really? That's sick.
Yep. Not the biggest fan of his, but my favorite Tom Cruise movies are probably Mission Impossible 4, 5, and 6. Fallout's the best one, like without question. Oh, did a jump. Days of Thunder is not really the one that people will go to, but respectful. I mean, I really like Days of Thunder.
Oh, really? That's not the I would expect. Dude, there were a lot of people actually like yeah, I went to go see Terrifier in the theater. Like there were a lot of people who were dressed up for Barbie even then. And then like today, like even with when my sister went with her friend, like they dressed up and apparently the whole theaters are dressed up. Like Barbie is the one that I would expect people to dress up for, but for Oppenheimer. Really? Everyone showed up in their those bowler hats or whatever those are. Talking joining Scientology.
I'm not a scientist myself anyway. Like, I mean, how could I can't really even get into science. Like, would you consider movies a kind of science?
Kinda. It's moving pictures. It's somewhat adjacent. You look at the science of photography.
Let's see. I also love Cruise and Risky Business. Yes, I freaking love Risky Business. Where he freaking starts a brothel in his parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Like, that is awesome. I need to see Vanilla Sky. Prefer my Cruise more dramatic than action based. That's fine, but I mean. But honestly, that's more of his dedication, to be honest with you, is with the action stuff.
I will say, please do watch Vanilla Sky because I also prefer Tom Cruise as I prefer the more dramatic roles than the action. I mean, I think action is like obviously you think that's the first thing I think of him as, but Vanilla Sky is like when it comes to dramatic performances, it's like that's one of the best ones. It's so freaking good, and it's a really honestly not as talked about movie anymore, which is really sad. It's a really like
I think it's Cameron Crowe's most underrated in my opinion, least talked about.
Yeah, it's like it's incredibly like the world building in that film is crazy. Like it's kind of wild.
Yeah. Yes, Eddie. Yes. Oh, I want that.
I don't know if it would happen, but I would absolutely buy it if it did.
I will buy that box set. Like, I don't care. I will buy that.
I've been saying, though, what I think needs to make a box set happen is there needs to be a Gaspar Noé box set, because they have treated him so wrong. They invite him into the Criterion Closet and they film a video of him, but all this time later, they don't accept any of he still has no films in the collection, and Enter the Void got submitted but then got denied. And that's just a whole bunch of baloney, because it's like, dang, that's just doing him dirty.
Yeah, very dirty. But
I think there needs to be a box set. What?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say I saw so many
I was
people
just
dressed
saying
up in
because
pink for Barbie when I saw Oppenheimer. There's some people dressed up in pink at my screening when I went to go see Barbie last night. So there's that for you.
But yeah,
a fedora, I believe, is what Oppenheimer wears.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't really know the name of the hat off the top of my head. But what I was gonna say though, but back to Gaspar Noé, yeah, no. So his first like 2 films are kind of hard to get your hands on. So it's like, I think Criterion is obviously known for releasing films like that are, foreign films that are not easily accessible in the US, such as like, say, Come and See. Like there's not really a way to stream that film like at all. The only way you can even watch it really is, the last I checked at least, is to watch it through the Criterion copy of it. And so I think that would be good for Gaspar Noé for the 2 films that are not easily accessible to American audiences. They should release all of his films in one big box set. I think that would be kind of cool.
I mean, I know this one's easily accessible, but it's like, this is I know this is considered to be one of the greatest films of all time, but no one talks about it.
Bicycle Thieves is really good. That's a good film.
Fucking love this movie, dudes.
Yes. It's a banger. It's a banger.
It's a freaking banger. So, yeah, now before I get on to my next question, I'll show off the recommendations. Like I mean, I know I asked for 5, but I'm gonna do 10 because my collection is filled with a bunch of hidden gems, like that I know that a lot of people do not talk about.
Yeah.
But like that's something that Milne pointed out, and I was like, dude, thank you. Like that's something I like to do. I don't like to always go for the big movies first. I like to get the hidden gems so I can recommend them to people. Like,
yeah.
So first up, I'll recommend is Vengeance, written and directed by B.J. Novak from The Office.
I did want to see that film, actually. That's kind of funny.
It's also got a really good cast. You also got Boyd Holbrook, Dove Cameron, Issa Rae, and Ashton Kutcher. Big cast. Yeah, and like I said, it's also written and directed by B.J. Novak. So,
yeah, I have to give it a watch.
I definitely would recommend it. I think it's on Prime. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it is on Prime. So, and then if you guys are looking for something kind of campy when it comes to James Wan, I recommend checking out Dead Silence.
Dead Silence, yeah.
This movie's pretty campy when you really look at it in retrospect, because you have a ventriloquist dummy that becomes a killer, like by some kind of witch spirit.
I remember that movie being all over the place when I was a kid. Like when we had Blockbuster, that movie was like always on the shelf.
So yeah, and I would definitely recommend it if you guys are into campy horror films like this. This would be for you. Next up is one of my personal favorites. Like, whenever anybody's looking for a literal drug trip, no pun intended, because of what this movie is, this is the movie I would always recommend for that, and that is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Hell yeah. I love that film so much.
And I recommended you to watch it, so.
I mean, yeah, it's like, that's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Benicio del Toro performance. And it's funny because it's not the role kind of role you're used to seeing him as at all. But he's
like, you're kind of used to him being like this badass in a movie.
But Johnny
you see him as this bad guy who was basically kind of drugged.
But let's be honest, Johnny Depp, you can kind of see it. Like he always plays some kooky characters, so it's like you kind of expect more from him. But
if you're not
Del
into
Toro,
kooky movies, then then don't watch it. But if you're
yeah,
into a movie that will literally just take you on a drug trip, that's the one I will go to tell you to watch.
yeah. Looks like Eric asked a question.
What is each of your guys' favorite Nolan movie? Mine is The Prestige.
Mine is it's really a hard to pick between the two for me personally, but it's either Memento or The Dark Knight. Those are my two favorites.
Okay. Because the one that's my least favorite is going to get me killed. Like, I've said it before.
What might it be?
It's Interstellar.
Interstellar's your least favorite? Really?
That is my least favorite Nolan film. It's really good. Don't get me wrong. Hold your fist back before you be saying like, "Look, you're wrong."
You don't like Interstellar?
No, I really like Interstellar. I mean, all of the Nolan films that I've seen either range from really good to masterpiece, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But with Interstellar, I honestly have a little bit more problems with it than people would care to admit. For one, the film is very slow. Like, very slow. And really long, and also a little bit confusing for me. Like, the film is a little confusing. So
it's a little confusing, I will admit. I wouldn't say it's as wildly crazy when it comes to hard to follow as like say something like Inception, but like, and even then Inception, I don't even think.
Or Tenet.
Tenet's the worst one, and Tenet is my least favorite. I fucking hate that movie. I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't like Tenet. I borderline despise that film.
Give it a second try, dude.
I don't know about that, man. That film left such a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know if I can watch even a second of that again. Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, man.
Couldn't do it.
You might actually find something to like in that movie if you give it a second try.
The only somewhat redeemable thing I saw, like, because in class one time we had to present a scene where we this is when we were studying some editing stuff. We had to find a scene and where we liked the editing of it. And I will admit, fine. The scene where they're in that like isolation chamber, whatever the hell that thing is, and like the colors are like Wending Refn colors. Fine, the colors look pretty in that scene. I'll give it something, but other than that, I don't know.
I don't care what you say, bro. I freaking love Tenet.
I mean, fair enough. But the thing is, Nolan's movies are hit or miss for me in general. Like that's kind of how it goes. Like I don't. Okay, like my thing is Memento and The Dark Knight. I really love both of those films. I really enjoy Interstellar a lot. That's probably my third favorite. Inception is pretty good. And this is where I'm going to get killed. I don't like Batman Begins. I have a lot of problems with Dark Knight Rises. And let's see. Tenet, I don't like at all. It's my least favorite. And I'm not huge on Dunkirk. So, like, he's really hit or miss.
Dunkirk, that's not really
I still got to see. But I will say, I still got to see The Prestige, still got to see Following, still got to see Insomnia.
You definitely need to watch Insomnia and The Prestige. Like, those are the ones I will say you need to watch them. Like,
yeah.
And even if you find the twist predictable in The Prestige, like, give it another try, because Christopher Nolan does a really interesting thing in that film to make you kind of think about like where the twist is going to go. Yeah. Like, that's the thing I will say about The Prestige. I'm not giving away the twist because obviously that'd be dickish of me. So let's see. Interstellar might be the most polarizing Nolan film yet. It's up there for me, but I can understand if it's not one of your faves. I get more offended
by the Dark Knight Rises haters. I mean, I wouldn't say hating the movie is not the right word.
Because hate is a strong word, man.
Yeah, no. Tenet, I will say I hate. I hate Tenet. But Dark Knight Rises, it's got flaws to me that I can't unsee. But I will say Bane is fucking awesome. He's easily the second best villain in my opinion in the trilogy. Like faux show.
Following is my least favorite. It's interesting, but can't really compare it to everything he's done since.
I mean, fair enough. It was his first film.
His very first film. I mean, it's not going to be like what he's going to do now. Like, that's a different thing. Tenet was a lot of fun.
He had to do all of his
Not
in
one
between with Oppenheimer.
Let's see. Next, I would also recommend, if you guys love revenge flicks and also period pieces, here's the perfect film for you: The Count of Monte Cristo. With Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce, and a very young Henry Cavill in it. So there you go. And if you guys want something really silly, then I would recommend Bubba Hotep, because this film, you have Bruce Campbell playing an iteration of Elvis Presley fighting mummies. If that doesn't sell you on, I don't know what will.
It's crazy.
And then I just posted this one on my Instagram.
You just don't know how to have fun if that doesn't intrigue you.
That's probably going to be on you if I show you that movie. If I'm being real, that's probably going to be you. But one day, though. One day I'll show it to you. One day. And then the next one, I just posted this one a little earlier before we went live. Orphan. This is a really underrated
film. We're doing a watch along for later.
Soon. I mean, that might go up on the polls after we do the Super Mario Brothers movie. Maybe.
Yeah.
If you guys love a good raunch fest, I would recommend Sex Drive.
Sex Drive. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that film in a long time.
Again, this is another comedy I want to show you sometime. Like, I know you're not a big comedy guy, but still, man, sometimes you need a good laugh.
Sometimes.
And then if you guys love crazy action movies that you honestly will not that will kind of just leave you speechless from time to time, I recommend Running Scared.
I remember that film.
This film is wild. Like, seriously, there's things that happen in the film that you're just like, what the fuck? Like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, seriously, like you'll be speechless by the time that happens.
I do remember that film. It's a long time ago.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend that one for sure. Like, that's whenever it comes to recommendations, besides obviously The Black Phone, which is not going to be in this list. That's the one I will go to as Running Scared.
Yeah.
And then speaking of another one I will go to, if you guys love a good old style Western kind of movie, I recommend checking out Lawless.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You got Shia LaBeouf, Tom Hardy, and Jason Clarke playing as brothers in this film, and it's during like the mob era. So yeah, check this out, man.
Lawless.
Yep. I think it is on Netflix right now, if I remember right. I think it is on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you guys have Netflix, it's in the US, but if you guys have Netflix and are in the US and have not seen Lawless, check it out. I promise you. And I saved this one for last because this is the one that really grew on me. I thought it was the first time. I liked it a little bit more the second time. And every single time that I watch this movie, I like it even more every time I watch it. If you guys want a good serial killer movie, I recommend Copycat.
Yeah, you have been recommending that one for a while.
Like, this is one of those like movies that this is just like with The Black Phone and Running Scared. Like, when it comes to a movie that people are asking for a recommendation, this is another film that I will always go to as Copycat. Because I don't feel like anyone really talks about this movie.
Yeah.
Like, because when it comes to serial killer movies, this film never gets brought up. Like, never.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it came out I think it did. It came out the exact same year as Seven.
Oh, really? That's probably why it doesn't get talked about much.
because it literally came out the exact same year as Seven, back in 1995.
Okay. Quick intermission real quick. I got to use the restroom, but I will be back in just 2 minutes or so.
All right. So if you guys want, ask me a couple of questions before he gets back. Or if you guys, or I want to say this. Oh, here we go. It's going to say this really quick. Oh, God, my belly. Sorry, that was random. But in the wild. Okay, so if you guys are looking for a foreign film, and if you guys love Akira Kurosawa, this is one of them that I would absolutely recommend, which is Ran. Now, I know it's technically pronounced as Ran, as it may look on the spine, but it's actually pronounced Ron. So, yeah, I recommend that one. Let's see. Obviously, like I said, The Black Phone will be one of those films that I will always go to recommend to people. Or even if you didn't like it the first time, I would say give it a second shot, because there might be something in this film that you might have missed. So, what is what I'll say? There might be something in that film that you watch it and you didn't notice the first time you watched it around. Might be something there. Not saying there is going to be, but I say that that's what it might be for you. Oh, it's another one. Oh yeah, very unheard of movie right here, and a movie that I know no one else has in their collection, which is Intersection. Yeah, this is underrated. Underrated 90s thriller. So there's that for you. I really like that movie. Oh, why did I forget this one? Daybreakers. Super underrated vampire movie. Yes, I love Daybreakers. I don't know why I forgot that one. I was just looking around and I saw that and I was like, how come I did not mention Daybreakers? So yeah, while we're waiting for him, I'm gonna set this stuff that goes on over here back on the shelf.
All right,
he's back. Just really quick. I'm just putting this stuff away quick, or at least some of it, because I'm not going to be able to get up and go put all of it away. So
yeah,
because we're on a goddamn stream right here. So there we go. All right. Alrighty. So there's my next question. And this is actually kind of regarding to the channel here.
yeah.
Since we've been, we've been on this channel pretty much for over a year. What would you say, like, for our channel, like for the channel that we've grown and built together? What would you say was either your favorite collab or watch along that we've done? You can pick either or.
Favorite watch along or collab? I would have to say the very first one that comes to mind for me has got to be Jackass 2. Oh
And
my
that is still,
gosh.
to this day, our most viewed watch along on the channel.
Is that right? It's probably because I was fucking embarrassingly laughing my ass off during the ball sequence.
No, that not even that. It has 4.1 thousand views.
Whoa. Okay, never mind. Oh,
That
jeez.
is our most viewed watch along. Like,
Holy shoot.
and
That's a
even with
lot.
Jackass 4.5, that was over a thousand views.
4.5 has over 1,000 views. Is that more than Forever?
Yeah, more than Forever.
Wow.
That's crazy
Interesting.
to think about because clearly Forever is the better movie.
I don't know what was so popular about that watch along.
I think it was mainly because like it was a lot more newer than Forever was.
Maybe that's the case for sure.
It was also like our first like Netflix exclusive film, I think.
Yeah. And that could be too, you know.
So or how about this? What's your favorite like non-Jackass watch along that we've done?
Favorite non-Jackass collab or watch along?
Yeah, watch along.
Watch along.
And then you can just do normal collab.
Okay. I would say, I mean, okay, so while I'm answering, I'm gonna pull up your channel so I can give a good answer as to the collab answer. But as far as as far as watch along goes, that is not related to Jackass. Whew, I mean, there's some good ones, but I would say I have to go between two things. One of them would be probably, let me see here. I just had it. I would say, okay. This is the funny thing about this is that they were actually back to back. But I would say my other two that came to mind would be Terrifier 2 and the first Scream. And those were back to back pretty much.
Yep, those were back to back. Even though obviously we had to wait a few days to get those done, but
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
I think actually are my favorite of the Scream ones. I think was the fifth one
The fifth one was your favorite one?
that we did together. I mean, it's not my favorite in the franchise, obviously. I'm saying like I asked for ones that we did together
Gotcha.
because we had a big panel for that. Like we had
That one was good.
Goose, Jared, Jacob, and Zach.
That was a
So
really good one. That was another one of my favorites. But I mean, even though the ending got a little rocky, prior hand though was like a really good stream up till then though. I would say
what do you
you
mean?
remember when we did the movies that will destroy your childhood?
Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately the ending got a little rocky, but as far as
because people were calling me.
yeah, but as far as like non watch alongs go though, that was probably my favorite like video we did where we weren't watching something, I guess.
I mean, we're gonna do more stuff like that in the future, obviously. But it's just, I mean, like,
What? Okay, two things on that note. One, okay, you know what I would actually say? So that is what I'm going to go for as far as like collabs we've done together that are public. But I think you know where I'm going with this. My
yeah,
favorite,
the one that we did with
one.
Grant. I'm back at your bitch's cabin.
That was, you can't tell me that wasn't the best one. That was
Like
freaking
it felt like we were,
amazing.
and plus we don't even smoke, so it felt like we were just stoned while doing that.
That was the stupidest thing I have ever partook in, but that was
Like,
funny as
you want to know what?
hell.
You actually
Oh
want
my
to
gosh.
like, even though we're not really stoners, but I want to call that stream the stream for stoners. Like, because it felt
Pretty
like a
much.
stoner
That's
stream.
exactly what it was.
Like,
So yeah,
back
as
at your
far
bitch's
as
cabin.
ones that are public goes, the movies that'll destroy your childhood would probably be my answer. But if not, knock at your bitch's cabin. That was so stupidly funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
But I have to say though, you know what? Would now be a good time to semi-announce what we're doing on my channel? Would you like to
Yeah,
be the one to bring
let's
it up?
announce it, man.
Because you're the co-host, and this is your channel. So why don't you be the one to tell everyone what's happening next month?
So next month, Fritski and I are actually going to be doing something a little bit special. For his channel, not just for me, but for his. We are starting a podcast.
Hell yeah.
We have been in production for this podcast for a year.
Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
I feel like it's rightfully time that we finally will bring you guys the movie going podcast. So yeah, next month when we'll start the podcast. It'll obviously be on his channel, and he's the actual host. And we kind of talked about this a little bit last year, but I don't know why we never got it figured out.
I think it was because just school for me got so busy, and then the summer, I've been I technically still am in summer now, but just I was really busy with work and everything, but especially with April, May, and June, it was just balls to the walls busy with making the short film happen. And that was kind of the priority. Even watch alongs, we weren't doing as many.
Exactly, mostly because of what you were doing.
Yeah.
So, and even by then it was we could have still done some stuff, but obviously because of your schedule, it's we couldn't do it. So
it was really busy, that's for sure. But now I'm at the point where school is going to be a hell of a lot easier, I'll tell you that. But well, okay, I shouldn't say school itself will be easier, but this schedule is a lot more flexible because one of my classes is completely on your own time. Another one is early on Monday morning. So that isn't really going to be a problem. And then my other one is there's a lecture on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. But as far as watch alongs go for us, weekends still should be good. Wednesdays once in a while will probably still be good. And even Monday nights even are probably still fine. But
yeah, but just not but then it kind of depends on scheduling, of course.
Yeah.
Even though you said, your schedule should be a little bit more flexible than it was last time. Because dude, even you were still you were starting school by the time we started the Halloween watch alongs, and it dude, that shit was crazy. We were just firing off those watch alongs left and right.
Yeah, well, the falls, I will say this. The fall semester was a lot easier to do with watch alongs just because it was, the classes were just a lot more. The workload wasn't as much, I guess I should say. The workload was easy to manage with watch alongs in the fall. But when I got my new schedule for spring, well, obviously there was a lot more work. So that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing that goes on there. So,
that's the story, pretty much.
I'm not gonna be dude, get your shit together, man. We're falling behind. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not a dick. I can be look, man. Sometimes I can be a dick, but I just do it for funsies. I don't do that just to act like.
We have. Well, I've said it once and I've said it again. If someone isn't a dick to you at some point, are they really your friend? We all got to pull each other's legs around and stuff for fun.
We got to pop your chops sometimes,
Pop your chops. I've never heard that one. That's good.
Steven says
mostly my dad says. Mostly my dad says busting your balls. That's his favorite one to say. Pop your chops. Oh yeah, busting your good.
Yeah, busting your balls. love
But
that
when
one.
it comes to like more serious notes though, yeah, like I know like you're not gonna tell me like whatever. Cause you know that school obviously is important. So like, you know.
School, yeah, school's important, man. I mean, and even like when it comes to like some of your like filmmaking stuff that you were up to like over the spring, it's like, yeah, I mean, I can't really stop that from happening.
And plus that was also school related too. Like it was not only something I was doing like for fun and pouring my time into, but there was also like I was doing it because I was passionate about it, obviously, but there was also a grade on the line too. You know what I mean? So there is that. But
That does make more sense. So I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna try to bust your balls on that one. So I had to. Because again, I'm not trying. I don't like acting like a dick like that, you know.
yeah. But I gotta ask you, so what's so this Criterion sale, are you buying anything at all?
I'm still trying to, but I never found like maybe on Sunday, like maybe Sunday if I'm able to go out on Sunday, because I mean I don't have any plans on Sunday, but Saturday obviously I'm going to Oppenheimer, and then when I come back home I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot my review, and I gotta wait till 7 o'clock to hop on Jared's stream for Smoking Aces.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, because we
because I want to go
have
to because
about
that's
one
why I
more
asked
sale.
if that's why I asked my mom if we could go on Sunday. So because I mean obviously I was gonna go see Oppenheimer
Right, right,
tomorrow,
right.
and I got Jared's stream later that day. So like the plan is for me, like if I go out of town on Sunday, to go to Last Stop so I can so I can try to sell some stuff, so I can get some store credit and actually get a few things. Mainly what I'm thinking
Yeah.
about grabbing. I mean, even though there's still a couple other pickups I want to get besides those three, is at least the first three seasons of the Flash.
Oh, that'd be
Like
good.
the
From
CW,
CW.
to clarify, the CW show, the Flash, not the '80s bullshit. We talk about
Not
the
the Ezra
CW one.
Miller. Oh, yeah.
I was talking about the '80s one. I mean, the movie hasn't even come out yet on Blu-ray. It's not coming out until
I didn't
August.
even know there was a show before the CW one. I didn't know there was an 80s one.
Yeah, there was an '80s one, but the CW one, obviously, we know that Grant Gustin plays as the Flash.
And would you say he's your favorite Flash?
So far from what I've seen, yes.
Yeah.
Like so far from what I've seen, I'm only 5 episodes into that show so far out of the first season, but really good, man. Like it is really good.
Yeah.
Just
So
in that first season, like
we got a good question here in the chat so far here.
most overrated movie of the year so far. Really quick, I'm gonna cheat and look at my rankings so far this year.
I need to do the same. Let me see.
So yeah, you're not gonna see me for a few minutes. I'm just gonna look and see.
I'm gonna pull up mine as well while he does that.
2023 ranked.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like that is actually a really, really good question. Because I mean, plenty of films that people have hyped up, like I've either really enjoyed or just liked, honestly. But if I really had to pick one though, because I mean, there's a lot of people that I know that really do enjoy the film. Like, just out of like one possible perspective, I'm gonna go with Sick. The Kevin Williamson movie that's on Peacock. At first, if we were speaking before earlier this week, I would have said The Flash, but I'm gonna give it to Sick right now because that is one of the most disappointing films I've seen in a while. Like, it's decent, but my God, Kevin Williamson came back to make that,
right,
or to write that movie. What the hell, man?
So for me, I mean, they're not highly rated movies when it comes to the actual like average score on Letterboxd, but I would say just because, like you said, there were other people people who love these two movies that I know personally, and they like freaking love them. They're some of their favorites of the year. I'm gonna say that I find them overrated when it comes to the fans that enjoy them, I guess, if that makes sense. My two answers, I would say Skinamarink would be one of them. And I would also say, and I know Luke doesn't agree, but it is what it is, Infinity Pool. That's the other one I'm not big on.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
sorry.
That's fine. I mean, it's not really everybody's cup of tea, so I'm not really just gonna bust your chops. So
Was it pop your chops?
pop your chops, but I said bust your chops for some reason. I don't know why.
But yeah, those
I
would be my
I
two.
honestly thought that you were gonna say the one that we watched together.
Which one?
Plane.
I wouldn't say that's overrated. Like, I feel like it's kind of like the reception is kind of what meets the movie, if you ask me.
But I mean, would you say you at
Oh,
least like somewhat had fun with it?
oh, absolutely. It was for sure a good way to fill up the evening, for sure.
And I mean, hey, at least you watched it with your best buds. So I mean, you can't really complain.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
then we have a
if there's one
follow-up.
I want to, if there's one that I want to like from this year that I would want to show you, obviously besides the ones that I've said, like which ones which one what's a good one I would want to show you from this year that I know you have not watched. I know I've definitely said films like Renfield and Cocaine Bear.
I do need to see both of those, yes.
And we will probably do those ones. And those are definitely going to go up on the polls.
Yeah.
After we do Mario. And I can already tell you that we're probably going to have a lot of fun watching those.
I would say so. I would reckon.
Oh,
I think you found
this
it.
one, The Covenant.
The Covenant. All
Yes, right. Dude. Like I think this is the film this year that I've recommended the most. Is The Covenant.
Like, looks like we have a follow-up question in the chat here.
Most underrated. I would honestly say I would say this is a kind of a three-way tie. A Good Person, Renfield. Actually, no, I'll pick five. Like I said, I'll just pick five. A Good Person, okay. Renfield, Cocaine Bear, The Covenant, and Knock at the Cabin.
Okay, so for me, I can finally actually talk about excuse me. I can finally actually talk about it because I have now seen the film. If you guys saw the live stream we were on Grant's channel where we talked about films of the year, our favorite films of the year. I mentioned a film that I at the time hadn't seen, but I wanted to promote anyway because my friend made it. But now I'm gonna say it's a movie that I'm gonna call it. I mean, score-wise, I'm not gonna say it's necessarily underrated, but I will say that it is a movie that I think more people would need to see, and I encourage everyone to watch. You can view it on YouTube completely for free. It's called Tell the Vision by my friend Jaden Georges. And oh my gosh, it's actually insane what he was able to do with this movie with the budget he had. Like, it is crazy. He did a phenomenal job. So Tell the Vision would be my answer. And I'm excited for Luke and
here's
Grant.
Here's the real question though. Like, I know that's like that would be your answer, but I also would want to say, like, for theatrical films, like what would you pick as the most underrated? What's the one you feel that you like but you don't feel like enough people are talking about?
I mean, I haven't seen enough. The movies I did watch are big movies, so it's kind of hard to say. But I would probably go between two things. And it's not because I feel like they're necessarily underrated, but because, like, I would encourage people who haven't seen them to watch them. I would probably say Missing or Knock at the Cabin. I would say.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying Knock at the Cabin.
And yeah, it's like, I mean, I think they. Oh, no problem.
Dude.
I think it's just if you haven't seen them, you gotta watch them. You know,
There it is.
it's crazy that Steelbook is like not going for cheap now. That's crazy to
Like
me.
it is. Like, it's crazy that the Steelbook is already out of print. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
like this film really like
crazy.
it wasn't as big as like Mario Brothers, but this Steelbook is out of print. Like
yeah,
seriously.
Which is nuts to me.
I mean, it's kind of big for Shyamalan fans. Like, let's be real. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, dude, every Shyamalan fan was very excited to see that film, and it's like
even though I'm like a huge fan of Shyamalan, I was skeptical at best with Knock at the Cabin. Like, I was very much so skeptical because I was just like, well, I don't know. We'll see. That movie will do something to you. It will make you think. It will make you think. And by the way, and for people that they find that film super boring, you need to either wash your mouth out with soap or watch the movie again. Because seriously, there's going to be or if you want a third option, pull the stick out of your ass. How's that for you?
That too.
Because there's going to be certain details that you could find re-watching Knock at the Cabin or following it through the twist. Like, because with the you can follow the film through the twist, and it will work.
Yeah, looks like spicy 4K action. Something to say about that Mario Steelbook.
That Mario Steelbook is $80+ already.
Damn.
And I freaking pre-ordered that thing. It was only $40.
It's a good thing you did, because now it's double the price.
That's what it cost me, like with tax.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual price was about $39 when I pre-ordered that Steelbook for Mario Brothers. And that was a good investment for me. I'll tell you that. It was a good investment.
Yeah.
And I own 2 copies of Mario, which are outside my room. I'm not going to go up and get it. Because, Fritski, if you know me, what's the one thing that you know I'm like a huge diehard fan of?
Mario.
Does this... Hold on. Will this tell you any more?
Well, I give you a hint. Yeah.
Or that I even have a freaking Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And all of the games that I play on the Switch are Mario games.
Exactly.
Or not, even if there's one game that doesn't really focus or center around Mario, he's involved in the game.
Smash.
Or basically how Napoleon will say it, let's smash. That's what you got. That's what you should say. Like if someone wants to come over and play Switch with you, you should be like, let's smash.
Let's smash.
You got to say it in your Napoleon voice from Napoleon Dynamite.
What? Let's smash.
Let's smash. I got. I have to send you some of those videos. Like I really do. I got to send you some of those videos from a 1980s gamer. He actually has a character. He actually has his own type of Napoleon character. Like he actually has the wig. He has the glasses. Like, bro, he actually can do a really interesting impression of Napoleon. Favorite Steelbook?
That one I don't. I mean, I didn't buy any Steelbooks from this year, but I would say that Knock at the Cabin one, I really love the artwork on it. So probably that one. And the Mario one was really cool too. Like,
even though I don't give a shit if it's one image, I mean, it still fits the movie.
I'd say so.
Hello.
That sounds like
even though I don't have it, I would probably say the Sisu Steelbook is pretty rad.
Oh, okay.
Like, have you seen the images of that steelbook?
No, I don't think I ever saw the Sisu Steelbook.
Dude, I'm gonna send you an image after we log off here. I really want you to see that steelbook because it is rad.
Okay. I'll have
But I
to
mean,
check
didn't you?
it
Because
out.
you told me that you and your dad are gonna watch Sisu pretty soon.
Yeah, we are.
So, I mean, I think it was mentioned earlier in the stream, but fuck, my memory is like going foggy right now. But if I had to pick like one that I got, oh, here's one. This is actually from this year, the Chicago Steelbook.
Oh, okay. That looks cool.
Razzle dazzle 'em.
Razzle dazzle.
Best Picture winner, by the way, if you guys don't know. This was a Best Picture winner. So,
Yeah. That's a good release.
yep. Or if you want to talk about like favorite physical release of the year, I'm gonna pick 3 in regards to artwork. So I'm gonna pick my Walmart exclusive of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Look at that cover.
Ooh, that looks good. That's cool.
Yeah, for a Walmart exclusive, dude. Not a joke. This is a Walmart exclusive. And that's not the only thing exclusive about it. And by the way, there's my ticket. Saw that opening night. There's 3 discs.
Nice.
Blu-ray,
Oh, really?
DVD, and DVD bonus features. 3 discs.
Wow, okay. That's a pretty good release.
And yeah, this is another movie from 2023 that I don't feel like enough people have seen. Even though I think it did pretty well at the box office, I really want more people to check this movie out, man. It's fucking great.
I think you're the only person I know actually who's seen the film.
Grant's seen it too.
Oh, okay, you're right.
But then on his list,
Then I know 2 people. There you go.
So,
but you're the only person I know that actively talks about it, though.
Well, the reason why I talk about it is because no one does.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking great movie.
We have one of the best in here right now. Josh.
And like a really big supporter of everyone around, dude.
He is. He is like one of the biggest freaking supporters, like I know. Seriously, like, oh my gosh. Long time no see, though. I hope you've been doing good, dude.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if I'll do it or not, but I'm thinking about this on Instagram. I think I might do a code giveaway for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Because I'm gonna cover it up so nobody takes it. I haven't used the code yet. I've already used my codes for Scream 6 and Sisu, but I have not used this one yet. So
there you go.
And my parents have seen the film already, so I mean, I really don't know if they're gonna be in a rush to watch it again. So
yeah,
I think I'm gonna go ahead and do a giveaway.
That'd be a good way to get rid of it. Yeah.
Like I think I've done that before though. I mean, I've done code giveaways. Like I did one for Babylon back in March. Why didn't you participate in that?
That's a good question. Dude, I think it's because I wanted to have the 4K.
Dude, if you actually popped in your answer by that time, I think I actually would have probably given you the code.
Yeah,
you probably would have been the winner. Like,
but the thing is, I want the 4K though. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it looks stupendous.
I mean, I just have the Blu-ray, but I mean, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Good. Because I mean, Babylon's just, it's good shit.
Great. Amazing.
It is good shit. I mean, literally no pun intended if you're thinking of the beginning.
Elephants.
An elephant shits on a guy.
Yep.
I'm not kidding you. At the very beginning, an elephant actually takes a giant shit on a guy. And you actually see it. You actually see it.
Full front and center.
Like you actually see the elephant's asshole, and you see you actually see the elephant's asshole, and then huge chunks of shit are coming out of its ass. Nasty, dude. Nasty.
That's kind of gnarly, man.
Like, bro, at that point, I almost turned the film off because I was just like, this isn't for me.
And you were barely into it. I'm glad you stuck through the end, though.
But I was just like, okay, look, the beginning 20 minutes was super weird, but let's just see what else the film has to offer.
Yeah.
And it got better as it went. Like, the film got progressively better as it went along.
This is true.
Even though it was still really crazy over time, like it was still nuts. Like,
who wants to see my dad fight a snake?
Oh my god, that was whoa.
Or how about eat another rat?
Yeah, that movie's nuts, man. What movie are you most excited to see for the rest of the year besides Blue Beetle? Dune Part 2. Absolutely.
Good question.
I was gonna say Oppenheimer, but I've said it ad nauseum. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I got it. Mutant Mayhem. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for Mutant Mayhem, but I think one off the top of my head I'm really excited to see. I want to see Maxine, and really bad.
Talk to Me?
No, Maxine.
No. I was mentioning Talk to Me.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to mention Talk to Me, bro. Jeez.
Well, okay. Yeah, no, I misheard. I thought you misheard me.
No, I heard you. I know you said Maxine, but I was mentioning the film Talk to Me, speaking on A24.
Gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
But I'm not going to be able to see it in theaters, obviously, because my theater's racist towards A24.
Yes, they are, for some stupid reason.
But whenever I get a chance to see it, dude, whoa boy, I think I'm going to be in for one wild ride.
Looks kind of crazy.
Yep. Let's see what else. I'm really excited for the Equalizer 3. Really
I
looking
forgot
forward to
that's
that.
coming out this year.
I love the first one. I like Equalizer 2, but the first one's definitely a lot better. But if this one can actually be really good, it could be a really solid trilogy.
Oh, I got it. It's a movie. We've talked about it. I don't think I'm going in expecting it to be amazing, but I'm excited for a lot of laughs. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah.
I'm ready. I am ready for Freddy. I'm hyped.
Let's see that. It was something. I was actually glad I had a bucket near me because I was about ready to puke. Thankfully, I didn't. Good thing I didn't, though, but I was about ready to puke because I was like, oh
man.
It's so gross. Thank you, Spicy 4K Action. Yes. Babylon's great. Thank you. Thank you, man. Talk to Me is that new A24 film. Yes, it is. Yes, it does, man. Equalizer 3 looks badass. It does. I saw the trailer for that.
Denzel Washington was so freaking good in those movies.
I saw the trailer for that when I saw The Covenant, and oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so,
but
oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, but I was going to show the other two, which are Avatar. Look at that beautiful slipcover, dude.
That's a good one.
And then, obviously, Avatar: The Way of Water because of the lenticular slip.
I think I like the first one as far as the release goes a little more.
But I got this one, though, because even though it's the same cover underneath as the original release, but this cover is fucking atrocious. Look at that cover.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is
not a fan of.
atrocious.
I'm not a big fan of that.
So either
Yeah,
just
it's not
grab the
very
normal
good.
Blu-ray or just grab the lenticular slip. Or the Steelbook for that matter.
Yeah.
Steelbook looks a lot
Okay,
better than it
so
was
Luke,
underneath this.
I was gonna
What's up?
say, so did we have any other questions you wanted to ask?
There wasn't much I could think of, but I need to hit these last two comments before we get out of here.
Yeah, and then we'll call it a stream after that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Marvels, Dune 2, and Equalizer 3. I am really looking forward to the Marvels, actually. I forgot to mention that one. I don't know why I forgot to mention the Marvels. Really excited for that one. But even though I still got to watch Miss Marvel before going to go see the Marvels because Kamala Khan is in the film, I got to watch that. But nonetheless, man, it looks like a lot of fun. And that new trailer, man, got me a little bit more hyped.
Yeah.
Don't give me that face, because we already know you don't give a shit. Don't give me that face. They're not my favorites of Cameron's, but I don't mind the Avatar films. I mean, they're good. But I just wish James Cameron would go back to like his good old style, like with films like Terminator 2.
Yeah, like that's the best one. That is easily the best one.
Because I'm kind of getting, like, I'm already getting kind of tired of his like new age kind of thing. Even though, again, I like the Avatar films, I do. But it's like, dude, you're just focused on visuals. You're not focused on a good story anymore.
Yeah.
Because usually what makes a good movie is a good story.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of what he did in the olden days.
Here's a good one over here now. True Lies. There you go. True Lies.
Boom. Or should Eddie say, as Eddie says, boom.
Boom. You gotta do that. Boom. So, but yeah, guys, I think we're gonna call it a night because Fritski has to go get dinner apparently.
Yeah.
But of course, as always, he's always here. He's always grateful, and always happy to have him here. So,
yeah. Oh my gosh. What if there was Avatar 3, but it had Arnold as the villain? Now, I would go see that for sure.
I would be like, sold.
See that.
That would be the only way to get me in that theater. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Like, to be like, okay, I'll buy my ticket right now.
I would too.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. And of course, thank you to Fritski for always being here and always continuing to be probably my best friend on this medium here. Like, we kind of talked about this a little bit. We kind of feel like brothers at the moment. Like because of how much dreams we popped in and out of with each other. So, I mean, it's only rightfully so. You too, man. Thank you.
Thank you for being in the stream for like most of this. Like, thanks for just hanging out with us. That was a lot of fun. We loved that. You brought us some really good questions.
Thank you, Spicy 4K Action. You're awesome. So, Fritski, where can they find you, my man?
You can find me at Fritski22 on Letterboxd, as well as Fritski on YouTube, serialized music board, and of course on Instagram. You can find me at Negrete _Alex_25.
Yes, sirree bah. Of course, yeah. Go follow him on all of his social media. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to me as well, because again, we're getting on 500. Tap on that bell. Hit that thumbs up. And of course, expect a review for Oppenheimer tomorrow. I will be seeing, again, like I said a million times, I'm seeing it tomorrow, and I'll be reviewing it tomorrow. As far as other content, Haunted Mansion review next week. I will be checking that out next Thursday. So keep your eyes peeled for a review on Haunted Mansion. As far as other reviews go, obviously Mutant Mayhem. No question about that. I'm seeing it. Thinking about seeing Meg 2. Obviously, we got Blue Beetle coming up. Got a lot to look forward to and all this good stuff. And you guys are invited on the journey with us, especially as we go on to get into our podcast coming up here very soon.
Yes.
So, and of course, more episodes of the show will be coming very soon, just depending on schedules and all that for my guests. And of course, we will be thinking about doing game night probably within the next couple of weeks. We'll think about it this time. So we will catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Peace.